We officially welcome in our co-host on the day, flying solo, New York Times best-selling author John Gilstrap.
Good morning.
And a good morning for you, too, because while you're not into the sports ball thing any longer, in your youth, you were a pretty fervent Redskins fan.
I was a very fervent Redskins fan, yes.
And who was your favorite player from that era?
Sonny Jurgensen. I root Washington, and I like Sonny. That we had that on our car, as opposed to I like Billy. That was a big controversy, 71, 72?
Sonny threw a pretty pass. Billy threw a wobbler.
Yes.
I grew up a Steelers fan, but I would watch Washington on TV because I didn't like Dallas. And Washington was one of the teams that could beat Dallas. So my favorite two teams were the Steelers and whoever was playing Dallas. So,
maybe that was an East Coast thing. That was certainly a Washington thing.
Well, Billy's a guy that you want in a foxhole with you if you're going to war.
Fortunately, as a 6-year-old, I wasn't. I was just watching the game. So that's the voice of Jerry Olsen. He is the president of Habitat for Humanity and also the president of the Washington Redskins Alumni Association. Jerry, good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys. Pleasure to be here. Thank you very much for inviting me. A lot going on with Habitat for Humanity. So I'm excited to be here to talk to you about it.
Well, it's wonderful to have you back in the studio, and you look great, still nice and healthy and getting around.
I'm still getting around. I'm just one day in front of the other. So it's good to be here. I don't know about getting up this early. 8:05 for old people.
Wait a second. I thought the older you got, the earlier you woke up.
That's exactly right. I don't even like to go to sleep. That's another day gone.
It's the more frequently you wake up. It's just which of the wake-ups do you count as the one?
Yeah, so I'm up early, so it's not a problem. But
you're getting up in the middle of the night 3 times to pee anyway. You might as well stay up and come on the show.
Might as well get up and go to work. You know?
All right. Yeah. Hey, you're here for a couple of different reasons, not the least of which is the Doug Widmeyer Memorial Golf Classic, which is at the club at Crest Creek on Monday, June the 16th.
Right. It's always good in this time of year to come talk to you about the Golf Classic. We started the Golf Classic 3 years ago to benefit Habitat for Humanity. It's in memory of Doug Widmeyer, who most people know was an icon in Martinsburg and also the state of West Virginia. And I went on the board with him several years ago, and when he passed away, we decided we wanted to do a memorial charity golf tournament to honor the memory of Doug Widmeyer. So this is our 3rd year. The first 2 years we were at the Woods in Hedgesville, and this year I decided to move it a little more local and go to Crest Creek Country Club. It's a real good event. We invite you to play. We have 4 sponsors that are really important to us. The family and friends of Doug Widmeyer are one of our sponsors. Dr. Queen in Martinsburg is a sponsor, and West Virginia Medical Healthcare is a sponsor, and then United Bank is our other sponsor. And then Parsons Ford has given us a hole-in-one car. So
nice.
This is the first time this year that we've had a car for a hole-in-one. This is the first year we've gone to Crest Creek, the country club. So if you haven't had an opportunity to play Crest Creek, it's a great, great golf course. It's only open to members only, so this is an opportunity for you to get to play it and also help a great cause. Habitat for Humanity of the Eastern Panhandle is really a great organization. Doug got me involved. I'm a terrible handyman, but I'm a good helper. So there's a lot going on. Last September, we opened our Restore, which had been closed for almost 10 years. And last week, we started to do a build in Martinsburg. So
very nice.
We got a lot, the golf tournament, the Restore, and the build, real big events for us.
Tell me about the Restore. Where is that located?
The Restore is over on Edwards Boulevard. If you know where the main post office is, we're right next to it. It opened in last September. Dan is our store manager. He's doing a great job. We're open Wednesday through Saturday, and we do pickups on Tuesday.
What can you
You've
get?
got the number there.
Yeah,
so
I got that taken care of. What can you get at the Restore?
You can get anything. We've got first as you go in, it's a very, very big facility. When you go in the front door, you'll see all the furniture and knickknacks. Then you go over to the left and you go into a problem that's got appliances, just about anything you can imagine. Then you go into the next section of it, and it's building supplies. So builders are really good about when they get done with the build, they have leftover material, and they donate it to the Restore. and then it's for sale to the public. So
The Restore is at 1353 Edwin Miller Boulevard, and the number there is 681-260-6007. The Restore.
so
So if people are cleaning out their house and they have table and chairs or desk or whatever they want to get rid of.
absolutely. And
What don't you take?
we don't take clothes.
Okay.
We're not doing books right now, but we just about anything else we take. Building supplies are what we're in need of. So if there are builders out there listening to us, give us a call. We really need some building supplies. Paint is good. We go to some of the paint stores and they've got paint that they've already mixed for somebody and then they didn't want it. They can't sell it. That's a popular item. The furniture is a popular item. Really about anything.
Well,
we had somebody that called us and their parents had died and they left us a whole house.
Wow.
So
Well, Habitat for Humanity, right?
yeah.
Well, the paint's a good idea because almost everybody has leftover paint from a project, and what am I going to do with this? The alternative is to fill it with cat litter and let it harden, and you throw it away. But if you can still use it, that's great.
Yeah, and it's really good. People have asked us why the store closed for 10 years. I wasn't involved then, but I do know that it's a very popular. The location is great because everybody's going to that post office, and we're right in that corner.
And you're standing in line for an hour anyway. So.
Exactly. You might as well go shop.
Might as well go shop. Hold my place. Yeah. So you said you got a house that you're starting now for Habitat?
Started on Burke Street. We're starting a build that they broke ground. We broke ground about a month ago. They started actually building last week. So,
have you assigned a family to it
2
yet?
years ago, we did finished a house in Shepherdstown.
Okay.
And we're actually trying to find property now in Morgan County. We'd like to build a house in Morgan County.
How do they get in touch with you if somebody knows of a place in Morgan County?
The number on the flyer, look on the bottom
for
of
the
the
golf
flyer.
tournament?
Yeah, for the golf tournament. Has Robin as our executive director, and there should be a number there. And
263-3154, 304-263-3154. They're looking for some land in Morgan County. They can do a Habitat for Humanity house there. Do you have a family assigned to the one in Martinsburg you're building?
Yes, we do.
And if you are that family, you do work on the house too, right?
Yes, they're supposed to do 100 hours volunteer work.
Sweat equity.
And they do, sweat equity.
Yeah. So the golf tournament's $125 per person, $500 per team. This is June the 16th at the Club at Crest Creek in Shepherdstown, and you can sign up by emailing Robin Keys at rkeys, R-K-E-E-S, at habitatep.org or by calling 304-263-3154.
So how does that work? You build the house for someone, or you build the house and then someone wants it? But how does that work?
Well, we have they apply to the family. I should have brought Robin with me because she knows more about that than I do.
I'll just call her right now and get her on the phone.
Yeah, but there is a formula for what they do. A lot of people think, oh, Habitat builds a house and gives it to people. We don't do that. We make it so that low-income families can afford to get a house. And there's a family committee that you say, hey, if you want to, like this lady probably went to that committee and she was picked to receive this house. But they have to pay a certain portion of the mortgage, and then it's a percentage of what the regular mortgage would be. And then Habitat for Humanity takes a second trust that you don't pay on. And then at the end of 10 years, the second trust goes away. If between 0 and 10 years you sell the house, then you pay off the second trust. So there is a formula for it.
And the proceeds of the golf tournament and other fundraisers.
The house, usually we fund the house by grants. The problem that I saw with Habitat for Humanity when I came on the board was that money from the grants has to be paid to build houses. So you turn around, you have no way to pay your light bill. You have no way to pay your salary because it can't come from that grant money. And they weren't doing anything because they didn't have a restore. So they didn't have any way to generate money to pay your bills. So I said, we need to do some charity events to raise money for Habitat for Humanity to do the things that we need to do. So that's why I started the golf tournament. Now, the Restore will be a money-making facility, and that will help us pay our bills. But we didn't have one. The golf tournament, I encourage, if you're a golfer and you want to play Crest Creek and you want to help a great charity, Habitat for Humanity, join up with us, a team. It's a lot of fun. Mark Mosley's a NFL MVP. He's been our honorary chairman for the last 3 years. He'll be there. You'll get to see Super Bowl rings. You'll get to help a great cause. This year, the golfer gift is a pair of golf shoes. So everybody that plays is going to get a free pair of golf shoes.
That's a pretty big gift.
So that's a very, very big, nice gift. Believe me, I've done over 80 charity golf tournaments in my life. And a pair of golf shoes as a golfer gift is really, really nice.
I've run 4 golf tournaments in my life, Jerry, and one thing that was true for all 4 of those golf tournaments was that 75% of the golfers wait till the last week to sign up. Do you find that to be true for yours as well?
Yes, and I don't like that.
Me neither.
It makes it hard for the director because there's so many things we have to do. I'm really happy with our sponsors that have come on board. We do have a breakfast sponsor that's open now. We do have a award sponsor. There's a couple sponsorships open. I invite you to call us if you're able to sponsor. But we're really looking to fill our teams. Right now we're about 15 teams. We like to go to 25 and at least get to 20. So it will fill up. So, but I encourage you to call us. You'll really have a great time. You're not only helping a great cause, you're having a lot of fun.
If you fill every slot, how much will you make?
My goal is to make $20,000. I do a golf tournament with the NFL Alumni and the Warrior. We do it with heroes and NFL legends. Each team's $5,000. So
bit different. Yeah. Let's talk about the team. Jer, obviously the Commanders, now they're called, coming off a very successful season, made it to the NFC Championship game before losing to the ultimate Super Bowl champions. And the Eagles' rookie quarterback took him pretty far, and it really the ownership change and everything else has kind of reignited the fan base.
Yeah, I'm very, very happy with the team. Of course, they only won 4 games a year before. I like Ron Rivera a lot as a person, not really a very good head football coach. Now, he did believe in the draft. I personally don't believe in the draft because you're taking a 22-year-old kid, and we all know we didn't really have a good working brain at 22, and so you don't know exactly what you're getting. I do like the NFL free agency. It's an opportunity. You've seen this player play in the NFL for 4 years, and you know what you're getting. It costs you money, but if you worked well with your cap, then you've got the money to spend. So what the Commanders did this year is they loaded up with a lot of free agency. Mike Quinn believes in free agency. They helped this quarterback a lot. They got an all-pro left tackle, which, as you know, is very important in the NFL. They increased their defense. They picked up some people on the defensive backside that they needed. They picked up another all-pro receiver, which McLaren need, which will help Daniels a lot. This team should be better this year, actually, than they were last year.
But with a tougher schedule.
We lost a few that I would have liked to seen. Jonathan Allen, who was one of the captains, but it was time for him to move on. He had a lot of injuries, and it was time his career's coming to an end. Queen, I liked a lot. We lost him to free agency. But I think they picked up. They will have a tougher schedule. And what happens in the NFL is now all the teams have 18 games on Ant Daniels. So they will know and believe me, they go through those films with fine-tooth comb. They know exactly what you can do. I know I've had defensive tackles tell me that if an offensive guard moves his hand to the right 5 inches, that's the play, and they know what's going to happen. Mm-hmm. That's how technical this NFL's gotten.
What do you know about the potential move into Washington, D.C. in the near future?
I know they've been working on that for 40 years. I've been working with the team. I think it will go to RFK. I really do.
The old site?
Yeah, old site. I don't know. The only other thing they could possibly do is tear down FedEx Field and redo a whole complex. What they want to have a big complex. They want to have the training facilities there, get rid of Redskin Park, everything right there at the stadium. They want it to be restaurants. They want it to be just a lot of shops, a lot of retail, just a big. I'm not too sure it's big enough there. I know there's a.
That's a lot of tearing down at RFK.
Well, they're tearing it down now.
I know, but RFK was a pretty small footprint, even if you include the parking lot.
But you can't do anything with the Armory. The Armory's there, but I think back when I was going to RFK, there was a jail and a hospital, and I'm not too sure that all that's there. It'll be a very big complex, but I just think that's the place it's probably going to go. I don't know where else it would go. Ken Cook, he wanted to go to Alexandria. He wanted to go to the sites that the Capitals were looking at, and nobody would help him. He couldn't get any help from the state of Virginia. He couldn't get any help from. So finally, Ken Cook was so stubborn. He said, "Look, I don't need anybody's money. I'm going to Maryland. I'm going to build a stadium. I'll build it with my own money. I'll call it whatever I want to call it." And he even tried to change the name of the city. So,
is there more room in Anacostia down by the Nationals?
By Nationals? I don't think so. I don't know. That would be nice. That seems to be the tendency. Baltimore does it, you know. But I don't know. But I think that they got to be out of FedEx Field by 27. So they need to start building now.
Why do they need to be out by then?
The lease is up.
Well, I'm sure they could still lease year to year.
And they probably will do something like that.
It's not like there's anybody else ready to use the building.
I think they're going to tear it down.
They'll have to.
They want to tear it down and build houses there.
Yeah.
Get some income, more income.
It's an ugly stadium.
It's hard to believe it's been there like 33, 34 years now.
You know what's funny is I go back to Griffith Stadium, the 40s and 50s, and we went to Griffith Stadium to see the football game. Now everybody's talking about the football experience. The football experience is a stinking football game.
I agree.
Now, was Griffith Stadium RFK before it was RFK?
No. Griffith Stadium now it's Howard University Hospital.
Oh, okay.
That's where the Senators and the Redskins played. But if you go to the games now, like even in the suites, so we have an alumni suite there, but most of the suites that they're paying $250,000 to $500,000 a year for, half those people in the suite don't even watch the game.
Yeah,
it's a big social event. Where for me, the event is the football game.
I'm an old and cranky guy when it comes to going to stadiums and arenas. The thing that irritates the hell out of me, even when I'm watching the game, is in between action, especially in the indoor arenas, where they turn the music so up and they have a hype man screaming like crazy. You know, the Chargers and the Rams share a stadium, SoFi, out on the West Coast there, and in between plays, they got people screaming like into the microphone, trying to get the crowd hyped up. You can't even hear yourself think. That's not the way that I remember the experience being in the stadium now, but for younger people, that's everything.
Yeah, my father-in-law had access to season tickets to RFK Stadium, and we went to a Dallas game there for a Redskins Dallas game, and it would literally move.
Oh, yeah. You can see it on the video.
And as a safety engineer, I think I was in school at the time, okay, I'll just take this ride. But it was a magical experience.
But isn't that good, though?
Oh, it was great.
But as an engineer, the springiness.
Oh, you definitely want it to move. That's true. You don't want it to be rigid.
Yeah.
Now, maybe you don't want it to move that much. but everyone was focused on the game because there really was nothing else. Either that or you're going to the bathroom, right?
Yeah.
But it was the focus and the energy that was in that stadium was just phenomenal.
Yeah. The thing that irritates me about it is when we play your Pittsburgh Steelers. And they come with those stupid towels and take over the stadium.
Those aren't stupid towels. Those are wonderful towels. They are terrible towels. Yeah. I don't think that happens as much. I mean, we did have a lot of fans in there last year, but I think now that the fans know the team is better,
Yeah.
I think you'll see less and less of that.
All right, I have a question here. The honorary chairman is Mark Mosley. Mark Mosley was another one of my gods as I was growing up. He was the last toe kicker, right? The
Yes.
straight on.
Yeah,
okay,
pretty much.
Why? And you're a special teams coach, Rob. Why the change? Because he could thread a needle
Well, you
from a long way, from a mile
you don't
away.
get as much power on the kick, and oddly enough, you don't get as much accuracy. You would think you would, right? Because you're standing straight ahead and you're kicking, but you get much better accuracy with the soccer style kick, and you get phenomenal distance. You don't get the same the physics of the body. You can't swing your leg as far back to make that kick as you can with a sidewinding kicker.
All right.
Well, I think the other thing is that you're getting soccer players, people that probably grew up playing soccer instead of growing up with Pop Warner football. And I don't think when Mosley was kicking, everybody kicked straight on.
Well, there probably weren't 50 soccer players in the country when he was coming up
that's
kicking.
exactly right.
Right?
I was telling Rob, he's the only special teams player ever to be league MVP, and yet not in the Hall of Fame. And I kid him because his shoe's in the Hall of Fame, but his body isn't.
Why wouldn't he be in the Hall of Fame?
Special teamers.
I don't know. They just don't like kickers. Ray Guy was probably all of the Oakland Raiders' offense for many, many years, and it took him forever to get in the Hall of Fame.
Well, that's the question: is kicking? Does that make you a football player? That's the debate.
Your hero, Sonny Jurgensen, hates kickers.
That's
Why?
a bill strap you're talking.
Because he says you work hard the whole game.
And then they save your butt.
You're the sweat, and then it comes down to whether this guy that's been sitting on the bench for 59 minutes can make a kick.
You know what I would
Whether
tell
you win or
Sonny?
lose.
Score more points, and you don't have to worry about the kicker. Do your part. Quit throwing interceptions.
Yeah,
Right?
he wasn't a big interception guy, really.
I think
Score more
think
points.
kickers have the highest pressure job on the field.
I would concur.
I mean, it comes to there's 1 second on that board, and okay, it's yours. You win or lose. You're the hero or the goat.
What's funny, I rode over to the alumni meeting with Mark, and I was talking to him about his career, and I asked him how many times he got hit, and he said, with being a straight-on kicker, I kick quicker than the sidearm. So he says, I'm always done before the defense ever gets to him.
Yeah.
So he didn't get hit much at all.
You can two-step as a straight-on. It's harder to two-step as a soccer style.
Exactly. That's
But did
pretty
he have
interesting.
a
Something-
well-rehearsed fall down like punters do? Is that?
Hey, we are just about out of time. Once again, it's the Club at Crest Creek, Jerry, on Monday, June the 16th. And this is the Doug Widmeyer Memorial Golf Classic to benefit Habitat for Humanity. Get in touch with Robin Keys to sign up at rkeys, Kees, at habitatep.org or call 304-263-3154. Always great to see you, Jerry.
Golfers, come play with us. We really want you to come. I want to make this a big event this year. Come visit our restore, and you'll really enjoy it and support Habitat for Humanity.
Edwin Miller Boulevard by the post
Thank
office.
you, guys.
Thank you, Jerry. Great to see you again.
Thank
man.
you.
Always a pleasure. Keep going.